What are some of the pressures you face in society being, a young mother? Is there any?
You see that stereotypical image of like young moms, like, going out and partying and, not taking care of their kids and like dumping the responsibility of their child, on other people. Mm-hmm. And I guess you see it in the media a lot and on these shows like, like Teen Mom and 16 and Pregnant. Like there's been some pretty questionable people on that show. So what do you think are some of the pressures from society that you experience?
That's a tough question. I definitely do miss being out with my friends. But I don't know, you just have to put that aside. It's not important. Sometimes I do feel pressure to do things, to go out and, have a drink with a friend for obviously not just, because it's Friday night, but for an occasion. But I really try to avoid putting myself in a situation where I'm going to be in a bar until 3 o'clock in the morning, totally drunk with, pictures on Facebook or...
Do you find if you do participate in, like, activities like that, you get even more criticized because you're a mom?
For sure. Definitely.
I guess, go ahead. What do you do to, I guess, counteract that, image that, not all young mothers are bad mothers?
To be honest, I don't really go out, so, I don't find it's really hard for me to have to hide, my personal life outside of being a mother. But I find it's put out there too much when someone goes out. Maybe there's pictures, or it's online, I'm going here, or...
The social networking.
Yeah,
really
it's too...
blows everything out. Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like that's where it's really... that's how people get judged. Like, oh, she's going out too much. Look, she's going out over here and she's drinking here. To me, it's too much with the Facebook. Like, there's too many. It's not private. Like, it's very out there. As much as as many settings as there are and everything, it's
still out there.
It's still out there, and I feel like that's where people see it and they judge you. Like, oh, she was out drinking. She had this, and there's really no way to like counteract it. It's hard. It's because you're always going to be judged, like no matter what you do. Like if I go out shopping and I'm pushing my stroller, I already feel like there are people, there's people staring at me, and I feel like they're already judging me. Like they give me these looks, and so it's hard to really avoid that image, I guess, but you have to find a way to do it.
Find a way to go around it and just be a positive role model.
Yeah. So, do you find it's more pressure on a girl than if a guy has a baby at a young age?
I would say so, because I feel like the automatic, everyone automatically thinks, okay, well, the girl's staying at home to take care of the baby, the guy's going out to work. So there's a lot of pressure, like, you know that it's going to be hard work, but you don't know how hard it is until the baby is here, So I feel like, personally, no offense to, like, any of the fathers out there, but I feel like there's so much more pressure on us because we're the mother. We carried the child for 9 months. Like, it's... we're basically expected to stay at home, Stay-at-home fathers is, like, it's such a rare... You don't really see it that much. So I feel like, there's definitely a lot more pressure on us than a man because we're expected, there's these expectations of us, and, we're expected to be these these housewives right off the bat. Like, we do the cooking, the laundry, just all the cleaning, and the father's out working, and you know, I find it's like a stereotype, like it's an automatic.
Yeah. What have you learned from having a child at such a young age?
I learned to really have more patience, because you really have to have patience to have a child. And I learned really how hard it is, and you know what I'm missing out on, and what I sacrificed. I sacrificed, you know, going to school and getting a job right away, and I learned really how hard it is, like financially also, which is why I'm so motivated to go back to school and get a better education so I can support my child.
Do you have any advice to teenagers and young adults who are sexually active?
Protect yourself. Condoms, birth control. Just be responsible, you know. It's such a big responsibility. It's, you know, I feel like young women and young men, they don't take it seriously. It's, you know, like it's a game or something, and it's not. It's such a hard responsibility, and you sacrifice so much. And you know, don't get me wrong, like I love my son, he's like the joy of my life, but it's really difficult to put everything, like your goals and all of your dreams and everything, on hold to take care of a child. It's very hard.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks for coming on the show, Adrian.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back with more Exposed. And when we come back, Taylor and Hogan will be in studio, and we'll be continuing our discussion on teen pregnancy.